Hey everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here, and today we're going to be doing a really quick unboxing. It's all graded Franklin half dollars. I paid, I think they're all proofs. I want to say like $567 for this, which was using Gray Sheet. If you're not aware of what Gray Sheet is, it's like a coin dealer pricing sort of. You pay for access like $35 a month. They have a bid and an ask price, so I paid a little bit over Gray Sheet bid, and it's the sort of material that I want to test out in some of my whatnot sales. It's also just a cool thing to know about. I'll discuss a little bit of the varieties and sort of the things to look for on this sort of material, but I'm going to open this thing up. Tell me if you think I got a good deal. I'll be curious to see as I go through, and also I'll talk a little bit about buying graded modern material, how to think about that, how to collect those. So excited, $500+ unboxing, plus a little bit of commentary on graded modern proofs. This video is sponsored by Whatnot, a live stream auctions and shopping app that I frequently sell coins and collectibles on. My link at the top of the description gives you $15 off your first order when you sign up through it, so definitely check that out. Plus, it's a great way to support my channel since any buy that you make with a new account gives me a nice bonus too. Hope to see you on some of those auctions. Let's get into the video. A well-packaged box, time to break it open. And it's not going to be easy, so I'm just going to take all the coins out. I'm going to have to further do some work to get what's inside there out. And here we've got the items, just a review. These proof Franklin half dollars were made from, I want to say 1948 through 1963, of course, when they stopped being produced. But these 1960 ones, there are actually a few different varieties you can look for. There's more of a well-known one that would be right on the date. And the other issue is that there's always, these are super reflective, so just to be honest, it sort of looks doubled, but I think it's just how the dye was produced and how they reflect the light as opposed to any actual doubling. But proof Franklins, it's like an interesting market where there's some people who are able to. It's like a marketer coin almost, where there's people who will buy just mass groups of these and then try to put them all together. And submit hundreds or thousands of them at a time, and then get a good economy of scale that way. These are all, I believe, Proof 67, which is pretty high grade, but it's not like the top end where collectors can't you're gonna have to start paying a lot more for a Proof 68, whereas I would say the Proof 65s and 66s often have a fair amount of distracting marks on them that would sort of disqualify them from what I would want to be doing with them. 1961, there's also a double die obverse, both on the reverse, a very famous one that you can look for in the E Pluribus Unum. Almost all of these will have been looked for on that front. There's also another one that's sort of in this part of the bell that's more minor, and then there's multiple double die obverses again in Liberty. And so there's people who will buy a bunch of proof sets, go through them, cherry pick the ones that look good, have those submitted, and often, certification fees, if you just have one of these and you want to send it in, it'll cost $30. There's people who can, if you're going to submit 1,000 coins, and NGC is basically just, they're not spending a minute on each of them. They're just sort of coming up with, a really quick look. Maybe they're spending $5, $6, $8 a coin, something like that. And so, then all of a sudden they might be able to make a little bit of money on 67, lose if it goes lower, but they can also elect for a option where they don't grade anything that's lower than 67. So say they're going to make a few dollars a coin on the 67s, they don't grade the 66s or below and take a small loss on them, and then the 67 plus, 68 and 69, they could make hundreds or thousands of dollars on those items. So 57, I think that there's some sort of, is it a triple die reverse on the E Pluribus Unum? I'm pretty confident that all of these will have been picked through pretty well, but you never know. That's another thing. If you have good variety searching abilities, it can be a smart thing to look at already graded coins, because lots of times, if somebody's going to submit 5,000 Franklin half dollars, maybe they won't look for varieties, but maybe they will have the time to look for varieties, but more likely, they're not trying to make, $50 wins. They're trying to have a few come back for home runs at volume and at scale. So more, these are 61, 62, 62. That one's proof 66. Okay. Interesting. Well, let's look at the difference. I mean, I kind of like that one because it actually has a little bit of toning. And this is more on the holder than on the coin. There doesn't seem like there's too much of a market difference with that one. But it'll be much more affordable. If a silver value on that's like 9, I think I paid I want to say bid was 22 and I paid a little bit over, so call it 24-ish, 25. We'll see if I have a lot of room there or if it's tough. I haven't sold too much of this material, but I think that it's a really cool thing to be able to show friends, a proof strike Franklin $50 graded. It's not going to be too expensive of an item. Then the other thing to look for is cameo contrast on these. And this isn't the most informative video. I probably should have done a little bit more research, but I'm just sort of I try to have it be where if you tune in and you can pick up some sort of knowledge on these. Cameo, it's when the design elements, like Franklin's head, is going to be super frosty. Those are the coins that were the first to be struck from the dies. So a die is what's hitting into the coins. At first, there's often that frost. Then after they've struck a bunch of coins, that frost is going to wear off. And then, so none of these are the cameo strikes. That's another big place where if you can get a 68, 69 deep cameo coin, those can be worth huge amounts of money. And I just think it's sort of a interesting little segment of the market. I've got some now in stock, so again, we'll probably be putting these in my whatnot auctions, putting them in my grab bags, and excited to see how they do.